Cassie, hello. All right, so I've got your illustrations up. A really good job describing what you're seeing and feeling here. Excellent. I love the technique here. I'm going to give you my question of the week first for you, and then I'm going to go ahead and address these pieces. But my question is this: now we spent a long time during the first 2, 3 weeks of class, and I was really emphasizing the fact that a lot of illustrations that we see are combination of shapes. Remember the demonstration I did with that rocket ship and the car, where I showed and I showed the actual outlines and just clearly indicative. This is just nothing more than a series of shapes combined together and different attributes added to the different shapes. And I think this piece here is really, really indicative of that. Now, my question is this, is there was definitely pen tool used in here. And I want you to kind of try to identify which areas were created with pen tool and which areas were created just by using shape. Okay, that's your question. Try to identify those areas. Now, as far as the piece goes, I think it's really, really, really interesting. One of the most interesting things I think about it really is the depiction of depth. As we can see, this depiction of depth is created by a technique called atmospheric perspective. And basically what that indicates is that, see how that background is blurry? That indicates that that is further from the focal point than the main subject, which is more in focus. And that's a really interesting technique. I think it's actually done in all of the pieces, but I think this one is done most successfully, as these are nothing more than gradients in a series of gradients for the background, where this actually has a scene. So this is very, very effective. Is this a new technique? It's a great take on a technique that's been around for let me show you the technique I'm talking about. Actually, yep, right there. That kind of crystal, I think, what do we call those? Crystallograph? Where the illustration is done with nothing more than shape. In this particular case, it's all triangles and just assigning different colors to triangles, no gradation at all. However, as we look at it as a whole, we're perceiving gradations based on a simple assignment of different values associated with the parent hue, right? So that's really interesting. And I think, to me, this is a little bit of a take on that technique. Not exactly, but it's a refreshing take on that technique. If it is a take on that technique, I will say that. But anyways, really great job. Really super interesting illustration. So thank you for sharing. And again, go ahead and address that question, and let me know if you have any questions. All right. Thank you very much, Cassie.